Oh man. All my buddies should be coming over tonight and we can clean all our guns from this weekend. So
Yeah,
that'll
what
be
did you guys do?
entertaining.
Did you guys just go to like a local range or something?
No, I got property up north that we went to.
Uh,
So we shot for like 5 hours on Saturday and like 3 or 4 on Sunday.
Time to restock on ammo.
A little bit, but I didn't shoot up as much as I brought up though, which I didn't think I would, but it's one of those things. It's almost like when you're gathering wood for a bonfire, like get as much as you think you need and then get twice as much. I did the
Yeah.
same thing for ammo. It's like I
I
filled up
always
a
think
bag till I couldn't lift it up anymore, and then I grabbed some more boxes.
I always think it would be kind of funny to like see the look on a cop's face if I ever got like pulled over on my way to a range. Because I always overpack and then they end up not shooting half the shit I pack. So
Yeah, we had gun piled up on the one side, like up to the windows. A lot of different rifles and whatnot. So
I haven't been. I built my wife a new work rifle last week and I went to the range and shot like 30 rounds just sighting it in and make sure everything was good with it. But other than that, I haven't shot in a while.
yeah, that was the first time in a while for me too. Oh no, I take that back because I went with my buddy a few weeks ago. We just went to an indoor range, shot some handguns. I think sometimes it just feels like it's been a long time since I shot.
It's amazing how much like going out there, being outside, and actually doing something other than just staying at the range. Like, where did you at? Like, I'm usually dead after a couple hours of shooting.
Yeah, my dad went out there with us too, and he just wanted to shoot his AR. I kept trying to get him to shoot our stuff, but I don't know, he didn't want to.
I just had some company send me a new holster in the mail yesterday. I don't know what it is. As soon as I became an FFL, I just started getting random fucking boxes in the mail. Um, it's T Rex, and it's called the Side Saddle or Sidecar or some shit like that. So I've been playing with that since yesterday. I got it at like 6 o'clock yesterday, so I've been playing with that today. I played with it a little bit last night. It's not too bad.
And that's why they sent it to you.
It's one of those rigs that you like have to appendix carry, which I don't mind. I mean, sometimes I appendix carry anyway. It's just I don't usually carry a spare mag on. I've never carried a spare mag on the same holster, so that's a little bit of an adjustment. But they've got a shit ton of YouTube videos on this company. I'd never heard of them before. But I get all kinds of weird shit in the mail. I had somebody send me a tactical phone cover thing, and it was for an iPhone. I don't even have an iPhone, so I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with it. I don't really know anybody that has an iPhone either. Otherwise, I'd just give it away. Tank, let go of him. I'm already tired of moving and haven't even barely scratched the surface of this shit.
Yeah, moving's annoying.
Yeah, I'll turn on my camera for a minute. I do have one thing I can play with, or I don't know if anybody else has ever done this before. I guess I've never looked it up. But come on, turn on. A few years ago, I bought like 4 G19s off a police auction, and this one was pretty chewed up on the bottom. So I cut it off at the grip, and now it takes Glock 26 mags. I don't know if this is the one running the Enforced Light, but it's a Glock 19. Everything. And then this is that holster. It's just one of those curved ones that you have to appendix carry.
Hello.
Hey,
How's it going? So you kind of made your own little concealable Glock thing then, eh?
yeah, because I like to have the full length slide, but to me, your pinky doesn't really add anything to your grip when you're shooting, so there's really no point in it. And you could always get one of those pinky extension ones if you didn't like it, but then it doesn't stick out as far, and usually that's the part that sticks out when you're carrying anyway. So the barrel length could be fucking 10 inches long, it doesn't matter. Not gonna be comfortable.
See, and I disagree. I have to have my pinky on there. It annoys the crap out of me to only hold it with a couple fingers.
I agree it's an annoyance. However, pretty much from what we've seen, like when we play around with stuff, it really doesn't affect your accuracy or anything in any way. It's annoying as shit. I'll give you that, and I think it psychs people out like psychologically. However, like just from what I've seen and playing around and stuff, it really doesn't affect accuracy. I can pick up a full size 19 or a regular 19 and then pick up this one and it shoots it the same way.
You don't think it helps you manage recoil a little bit since it's pivoting in your hand, so being able to push against it like further down, you have more of a moment arm. Like it should be less force to keep the gun on target.
I guess maybe in like a very small way. It might. I get such a high purchase on mine anyway. I mean, and it's really it's a 9 mil. Maybe if you were shooting like a 10 millimeter or something like that, it might be something a little bit more noticeable. But with a 9 millimeter and a dual recoil spring in the Gen 4s, I just don't see it. And I don't know really how much grip strength you really get out of. I see what you're saying perfectly. I just don't think you get a whole lot of grip strength out of your pinky. And the way like I grip with my offhand, my pinky's actually on the grip then because I'm gripping my ring finger with my pinky. So maybe single-handed. I've never messed with it single-handed. That might be something where you might see a variation. But then again, that's just me. Everybody's a little different. Maybe I've just been shooting without my pinky for so long.
Hey, Smeggy,
So
what were your 10 movies?
I couldn't get to 10 because I don't really watch westerns.
Yeah, me neither. You had some funny ones,
Yeah,
right?
I just thought of anything that was like takes place in the West. So I had, well, I had one. I think that's an actual western. I liked Maverick. That was a
The
good
one with
movie.
Mel Gibson.
Well, I don't know. Is that who's in it? It's a
Yeah, I
poker
think
player dude. He's good at poker.
Mel Gibson's in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know people. I'm done with that kind of stuff.
that
But
used to be a show in the 50s or 60s.
Didn't you have Tombstone too?
yeah, because after other people said it, I was like, oh, I think I've seen that before. So I guess that counts. And then I had Wild Wild West and Back to the Future 3. And everyone got mad at me at Wild Wild West. Which, you know what? I thought it was a good movie. I mean, I'm one of those people, if a movie entertains me, then it counts. I'm not saying it was the best acting in the world. I'm not saying it was the most elaborate plot in the world. Whatever. It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It's
It,
one of
it
those that
entertained me.
if I see it on the TV, I'll stop and watch it if there's nothing on. It's good. It's entertaining. It's got a giant spider, a giant mechanical spider.
Uh,
It's awesome.
I guess I just grew up
Selma.
liking Will Smith, so, you know.
It's got Selma Hayek. Will Smith is good.
Now his kids. Will Smith, yes. His kids,
Oh, his son's a fucking train wreck.
I thought that was his daughter now.
What? Did he switch or something? I didn't hear that.
No, I saw a photo of him like a month ago, and he was like wearing a fucking dress.
Yeah, who knows? Famous people get weird because they don't live in the real world.
Yeah, I don't know, really.
They get treated special when it gets to their head.
I don't know. I ran into Channing Tatum one time when I was in Vegas, and I talked to him for like 20 minutes at the bar. No fucking clue who he was, and finally some like lady came up and asked for his autograph, and I was like, "Who are you? Or why do they want your
Wait,
autograph?"
you're famous?
I was like, "Why do you want your autograph?" He's like, "Have you ever seen any of my movies or anything?" I was like, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
Well, that's one of the things this is kind of a generalization, but I have noticed that hockey players tend to be some of the most down to earth like athletes. Like you run into them and talk to them, and they're just like some dude who happens to be there, you know?
Yeah,
Like
because it's not as like, well, at least not here. It's not as crazy televised as like football players where they get all that extra fame. Like they're just half of them you can go out and drink beer with at like the local bar because they're not worried about anybody recognizing them or driving them fucking nuts.
right. Well, that's like a guy I used to work with. He played hockey and he played for the Calgary Flames and he was in 5 NHL games. So he played for like their minor league team. He got called up. He played 5 games, and then there was a thing in his contract where if they kept him for more than 5 games, they had to give him $500,000. But if he played 5 or less, it was like 100 grand or whatever. I don't remember the exact numbers, but basically they didn't want to pay him the extra money. So he did get to the NHL level. Didn't stay on the roster, and then the next year, they never called him up at all. So he just played on the minor league team for a year. And he pretty much figured, all right, I'm not going to get in the NHL. So he just went on with his business career. But, oh, son of a bitch. Anyways, I tell that whole story because when he was in college, he tried out for the Olympic team because that was before like NHLers were in the Olympics, where they were still like strictly amateurs. And he roomed with Chris Chelios at like the training camp or the tryouts or whatever. And he ran into him years and years later. I mean, the guy's older now. He ran into him, and the guy was like, "Hey, Frank, is that you?" And he's like sitting there talking to him, and he completely remembered him. Hey, remember that weekend that we were trying out for the Olympics? And it's just talk to him like a cool dude that like he knew from a long time ago.
That's cool. I remember we were at I went to SEMA one year, and for whatever reason, like Sylvester Stallone was there, and for whatever reason, I just had like mouth diarrhea when I first met him because I recognized him, but the first thing I said to him was like, "Fuck, you're short." I had no idea he was that damn short.
Wow.
And,
He laughed. He laughed.
at the NRA show, I sat and talked to Jerry Michulik for like a half hour. Because no one, like, he was there to like sign autographs and shit.
Uh-huh.
And the first day, there was, a couple people kind of standing in line or whatever. And I walked up and said hi to him, got his autograph. Okay, cool. Well, the second day, he was at like a different booth. And like, people were just walking past him. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you people? So I walked up and I went to go talk to him. And he like grabbed one of his little, pictures so he could sign it. And I was like, oh, no, thanks. I'm like, I actually met you yesterday. I just wanted to talk to you because you didn't seem busy. You looked a little bored. And he's like, oh, yeah. So I just sat around talking to him for a while. And then, like, some other dude walked up. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to let you go. I don't want to, like, monopolize all your time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was cool. He was just like a gun dude.
We used to get like when I was at Nellis Air Force Base, we used to get free tickets all the time to go see all the UFC fights, and most of those guys were pretty chill. If anything, they seemed kind of like they wanted to be away from all the limelight. Like they were just like, all right, I did my thing now. I'm gonna go now. They were very chill guys most of the time.
Trying to think what other famous people have I met. Well, I met Heavy B. He was pretty cool in real life. I met G Webs. He was a cool guy. Let's see what other famous people. Hosh Nazi.
A lot of people don't like it when I say this because they've never actually met him, but we had Toby Keith come do a USO tour when I was in Iraq, and he's a fucking asshole. I don't know if you like country or not, but I pretty much deleted him off all my Pandora after that.
I do not care for country, so it doesn't hurt my feelings.
People get so butthurt because he's like on the outside so patriotic, but all I got and pretty much everybody else there was like, damn, what a dick.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because like I'm famous, so like I just kind of relate with famous people more or something. I'm not sure.
You're the most famous person I've talked to all day.
I got a shout out today on the Daily Gun Show because you was saying make sure you stay hydrated, drink water, not Mountain Dew, Smeggy. Because he knows that I drink like a shit ton of Mountain Dew every day.
I drink a lot of Gatorade.
I don't like Gatorade. It's too sweet. Which is weird. It's weird to say for somebody who likes Mountain Dew, which is pretty much all just sugar and caffeine. But Gatorade like upsets my stomach if I drink too much of it.
What about Powerade? That's just watered down Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't care for that either.
I pretty much only drink water and Caucasian Monsters. I say Caucasian because I don't want to offend anybody.
I don't know what a Caucasian Monster is.
The white Monsters. The white can.
Oh.
We have a bunch of people at work that get offended if you say like black and white, so I just started saying Caucasian Monsters just to be funny. I know it's an inside joke that I tried to use in a public forum, but oh well.
It just made it seem like it was the monsters that white people drink. Like that's almost more racist, you know, be like, well, these ones are the ones that all like the preppy white kids drink, and those ones are the African American monsters because they're the ones that, you know, all the black people drink. It's like, oh, that's kind of racist.
And then the blue one we call the Smurf one because we don't want to offend the Smurfs. I'm not giving them the credit they're due. Yeah.
I like Faygo Blue. That's a good flavor.
Faygo?
Oh my god.
I'm
so sick of talking to people from other parts of the country. Faygo is awesome.
I know what Faygo is. I just have never like I've seen it. I've never had it, but I know what it is. Actually, to be honest with you, the only reason I know what it is because my sister was a huge like ICP fan, and I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" She's like, "It's a soda." I was like, "Oh,
no, it's a pop. It's not a soda."
Same shit.
See, that's one of them things that's only available in the areas where if you call it a soda, people be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, let me get a Faygo soda. Like, you want cream soda? Because that's a flavor. Like, that's probably what you'd get. Their cream soda is really good too, by the way. And if you take the cream soda and you mix it with, oh my god, what the hell? I can't think of the name of the other one.
The other flavor?
Yeah, I can't think of what. I can like picture it and I can taste it, and I don't remember what the hell it's called.
What color is it?
Dark colored. Rock and Rye.
Never heard of it.
Rock and Rye. Mixed cream soda and Rock and Rye together. It's good.
You remember Surge?
Hell yeah.
That started to make a comeback. I saw it in a gas station the other day.
I was always more of a fan of Jolt.
I remember Jolt. Or you drink Mountain Dew. I remember when I was in Minnesota, they had Mountain Dew, but it was called like Mellow Yellow. It's the same shit, but it was Mellow Yellow.
No, Mellow Yellow is disgusting. It's not the same shit.
It's the
disgusting.
Same shit.
Oh, it's disgusting. Mellow Yellow is piss water. I hate that when I go to a restaurant and be like, can I get a Mountain Dew? And they're like, or I'll normally ask, like, do you have Mountain Dew? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll have that. And they bring out Mellow Yellow, and it's like, what the fuck? I specifically asked if you had Mountain Dew. Like,
Don't give me your substitutions. I want the real shit.
and they're like, well, it's like the same thing. It's just the Coke version. I'm like, no, it's not. It's piss water. And then I piss in their face and say, there you go. Tastes the same. You give me piss water, I give you piss.
Little public indecency and
Yeah, and then I get arrested and put on the sex offender list. The usual.
Yeah, you trying to get all 50 states before you die?
I'm actually not on the sex offender list in any state.
Aw. I remember somebody when I was in college had to go to a court case to get taken off the list because he mooned somebody in public and they complained, so he became technically a sex offender, and he had to wait like 5 years and then he could repeal his case or something. Do you know how many times I've pissed in public? Like, damn.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. My cousin had a friend who, they were at a bar or whatever, then they were walking home. It was in Chicago. And the guy like stopped off into like an alleyway and pissed against the dumpster and got busted, and that was considered like indecent exposure or whatever. But it's like it's not like anyone even saw him, like the way he was standing and shit. Like the cop didn't even see his wiener. So how is that considered exposure? And I know that there is a ticket for urinating in public, which is less than, the other one.
Yeah.
But no, he got in trouble and he was on the sex offender list.
So bullshit. Like, there's not a single like male that I've ever met that probably could admit or say honestly that they've never pissed in public.
I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, especially like at night when places are closed.
If anything, it's one of the perks of being a male.
It has its advantages, but girls can do it too. They just have to get a little more sheltered. They go behind something,
They make
lean
those
against the
camping,
wall.
They make those camping attachments.
The she-we.
Oh man, I sure am glad I started up this early lobby. Such great conversation we're having.
Soda and female wieners.
Oh man. The heck is that thing? You got like wires and stuff coming out of it?
No, this is a piece of trimmer line.
Oh, I thought it was like attached to that water bottle, like you had like some type of electrolysis thing going on.
And so I found this line and it's very thick.
What are you talking about? All I see is a guy holding a
Hold on
camera.
more. It's like weed eater line.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that's what doesn't break as much as like the other type.
Yeah, you can cut through a very thick weeds.
Man. All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going for a walk. Y'all talked me into it.
Oh, yeah?
You're going to get healthy.
Well, not really. I'm walking up to the store to buy Faygo.
You got a 7-Eleven nearby?
Yeah.
I don't think we have a Faygo. I have a gas station next door.
I have
I don't like to
trees.
go there.
Lots and lots of trees.
Question is, should I bother changing my shirt or just let it ride?
Let it ride. Does it have a stain?
No, but in case 7-Eleven girl's there, she's already seen my gun website's t-shirt.
Just put on a wife beater. That always
Trying to
works.
No, I'm trying to keep the streak alive where she likes every shirt I've worn so far. I'm like
If you
7
wear-
in a row so far.
If you wear one she's already liked, then it's a gimme.
I know, but I don't know if that would count, you know?
Isn't that the one that has a boyfriend?
Yeah,
Hmm.
she does.
I don't know.
Is he bigger
Once you
than
get
you?
into the
I've never met him.
friend zone, it's kind of tough to move on.
I'm not even in the friend zone.
No.
No. It's just a girl that's kind of fun to flirt with. I wouldn't do nothing. Like I said, as soon as I found out she had a boyfriend, I was like, yeah, never mind. She was pretty cute though.
Cheese.
Why the fuck? No, close. What the hell?
Your 7-Eleven is closed?
No. I'm talking to my
7-Eleven doesn't
phone.
close.
But it's
I haven't
open
been-
24 hours a day, but not in a row.
I feel like that's from something, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Stephen Wright used to say that. You remember Stephen Wright? He was that comedian that was kind of, yeah, I went to 7-Eleven and it was closed. Very low key.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Oh, look it up on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
When they have like the big chats, like when
Yeah, Stephen
Overdose
Wright.
Ammo has those,
Yeah.
like, can anybody get on those, or is it like usually set up to where only like certain individuals can?
Yeah, normally just cool people. That's why I'm always in them.
I'm fucked.
No, I mean they're normally pretty open. It's a lot of times if you kind of just like send them a message and ask like, "Hey, can I get a link?" It just depends. I mean, if they know who you are or they've seen you in like lobby chats. Like I know like with hit or miss, I don't like to just invite any old random person, but if I've seen them in a lobby and I know that they're not like, you know, super annoying or a bunch of loud background noise all the time or any of that shit, then just ask for it and we'll send you one.
Oh, I saw night shift now, so I'm not having to be quiet at like 8 o'clock at night anymore, so I can actually stay up till when normal people go to bed.
So, but yeah, I mean that's how most of those, like you called like the bigger chats. They just invite people who they've known. I mean I got in from talking with them a few times in a lobby, and then all of a sudden it's like they sent me a link. It's like, all right, cool.
Do you mainly just do these chats for your channel, or is there other stuff that you focus on?
Yeah, that's my channel only has early lobbies on it. I don't really make videos. I kind of wanted to, and I still might in the future. One of the things I really enjoy doing is when there's a really dumb anti-gun article, like just, you know, it's all that kind of like subconscious stuff, the way that they phrase things or whatever. I like just ripping them apart and exposing that kind of stuff. Like not even necessarily just like when they're factually wrong, which I will do also. Like that's just inaccurate. There are plenty of studies that prove otherwise. But just for some reason, I really like that little wordplay. You know, like when they're talking about someone who, you know, has a arsenal of weapons with hundreds of rounds of ammo, and it's like, wait a minute, you realize that I can go through 100 rounds of ammo in like 5 minutes if I wanted to. Like that's nothing.
like if I bring 100 rounds to the range, like I'm not gonna have very much fun. That's
Well,
not.
and that's like when I go to an indoor range, if I'm just there for a half hour, I'll shoot like 100 rounds. And that's, taking your time and just reloading mags and, whatever. Especially an indoor range where you can't rapid fire. But me and my buddy did a thing when we were up there. He's got one of those high points, like the carbines. And so he's got 2 mags for that. So he loaded up 2 mags for that, and then he had 2 mags for his pistol. And he's like, he just wanted to kind of work on transitions from like rifle to pistol. So it's like he, shot the 1 mag, dropped it, put a new one in, shot that, and then, swung it to the side, pulled out his pistol, shot that, and then did another reload and shot that. And it's like, okay, well, right there's like 50 rounds gone. I think because I think the high point held 10.
Yeah, I think the standard mag is 10. If he has the 9mm one, that's the one I have.
Yeah.
I think it
So
holds
that was 20 right there, and then he's got an XD. I forget which one that is, but I think that holds like 12 or 15 rounds. So 2 mags of that, that's another 30. Like there you go, bam, 50 rounds.
You can always tell by the tone of your voice when you say XD that you don't like him. Even if you never told me you didn't like him, I could just tell from listening to you when you say it.
I'm not opposed to XDs. They're fine.
See, even when you say they're fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're like Glocks. Like, they're okay. They
What
do what they
carry?
need to do.
What do you carry?
The CZ75 SPO1 Tactical.
Okay. Is that one that holds like fucking like 20 rounds?
No, it holds 17.
Okay.
At least in 9mm. But it's a full size metal frame. It's big and heavy, and it's not the best for concealed carry, but it works. Although, you know what? This weekend, now that I say that, I've never really had this problem before, but it was really, I don't know if I just had it in a weird spot. It was really fucking like digging into my hip, and I actually have like a bruise on like the side of my leg, or I don't know, hip side leg, whatever the fuck you call it. And like I've never had that before.
I've had like people talk about like bad hair days or whatever. I don't really have that problem, but I've had like what I would call like a bad carry day. If like for whatever reason, like I've carried the same way for like months, and then just for whatever reason, one day it's just, I don't know, it's just bothering the shit out of me for some reason. It happens every once in a while. Did you get like a new belt or anything?
Mute. Everyone's gone mute. I could be next. Welcome back, Smeggy.
Yeah, hello.
And go.
Both you're in here twice.
Yeah, I switched over to my phone. I'm getting ready to leave the house.
I muted it because I doubt you guys wanted to hear my son talk about Minecraft.
My nephew is playing that thing. I don't understand what's the point.
It was kind of cool for like a couple of days, just because like I have like I'm pretty creative. I like to mess with stuff. But once I made everything I was done with, I was like, all right, yep. And he likes to just run around and do random stuff like, I don't know, killing cows with a sword or something, like whatever. I don't know. He's 5.
There's a guy named Steven there, and then there are creepers.
Yeah.
There's story mode. I don't get it.
I think I got a 20 sitting on this table here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I don't see it though.
No!
Yeah, I might have already grabbed it. I didn't remember grabbing it though.
Past Smeggy took it. Future Smeggy doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, that Smeggy guy's an asshole. Always taking all my stuff.
darn past, Maggie. Gotta leave a note for that guy.
Oh well. Let me see. I wonder if I got money in my wallet.
That's usually where I keep my money.
Not me. And I don't. Oh well.
Cushions. Piggy bank.
I guess I'm stealing a Faygo and running.
You got some cans? Maybe you can trade in some cans for some money.
I do have cans. I got a whole. Actually.
See, there you go. There's money in them cans.
Yeah, see, I could just.
Take the money.
Why is my thing not on?
There's
Should be.
aluminum gold in there.
Oh, well, whatever. I tried to turn my camera. I don't know if it came through. I didn't see it on my own screen, so whatever. I was going to show you I got a big giant garbage bag filled with cans.
Just 10 cents a can.
I know. My retirement fund.
Yeah. Over here, you get pennies on the pound. It's not even worth picking one up.
No, it's worth it here. But I don't really feel like walking down the street with a garbage bag filled with cans.
Just throw it on the counter and
it's
be like,
not
here.
cool. And you have a girl there that you want to impress. That wouldn't be.
You know, I'm not 100% sure.
There's robots.
You're breaking up bad.
It works. All right, am I back?
Yep.
You're here.
Yeah. It always freaks out when I leave the house because then it goes from like Wi-Fi to regular data,
Oh.
and sometimes it drops out or something.
What are you walking alongside a highway?
And he's walking to the 7-Eleven.
Isn't that where you get mugged?
I don't really worry about that.
I know, but if I hear gunfire, I'm gonna be sad because I can't come help you.
That's all right, man. I don't need help. If you hear gunfire, you know it's the bad guy going down, not me.
What if there's 19 of them? You've only got 17 shots.
Well, I think Moon corrected me. He said it's 18 plus 1.
Oh. Well, there's no chance of there being 20 of them, so you're good.
Well, maybe I'll get a couple in a pass-through.
There you go.
Oh.
Just aim for neck shots.
I
That's
got
a
you.
pretty thin part of the body.
Oh, hot damn. Holy shit. Girl on a bike just passed me. Fucking A, man. Hot as hell.
Damn.
Yeah.
He has a bike, too.
I know. How can I ever catch up to her now?
You should ask her if you can ride on her handlebars.
Yeah. Shoulda. She had them little, like, yoga pants on or whatever, and she's wearing pink underwear.
Oh, yeah?
Hello.
Yeah, I can tell because they were all, like, stretched out so you can kind of see through them.
Oh, I thought maybe you saw the whale tail at the top.
Nah. God, I'm such a perv. I'm not even like this. I don't know why I talk like this. Like that's like she could turn around, come back like right now and be like, all right, me, you, these bushes right now. And I'd be like, I don't know what to do. No thanks. And I'd like run away.
It's because you have dudes on the other end, and that's just the natural instinct.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, I know it's not, but that's what I'm saying though. Even if it did, like I'm not that type of person. So I don't know why I talk like I am.
That's because your safety instinct is telling you that it's probably a trap.
Andy, are you home? I just walked past this guy's house I used to work with. I ran into him a couple weeks ago when he was moving in.
When you get to the 7-Eleven, you should give the girl the phone, and I'll put in a good word for you.
Here, talk to my friend. I'm too scared to talk to you.
I've never met him before.
Run for your life!
Not sure we don't.
From Michigan.
Oh. Ah. I can't see the screen. Just shut the camera off. There you go. Oh well.
So you're getting the blue Faygo?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the blue flavor.
What are you gonna get?
Are you gonna
out of blue?
You have exact change? I want some fruit stripe gum.
You can't make requests from somebody that was looking for cans for money.
Yeah, I know.
So you want me to buy you some gum and like ship it to you or something?
No, I'm just being silly. I just want to know if they have fruit stripe gum. The zebra with the temporary.
Oh, yeah.
It's been years since I've seen any. I don't know if they still make the stuff.
I'll look for it.
Cool.
I'm not getting any though. I mean, it loses flavor after about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's
always
the
the worst one.
And I'm a fiend. I go through the whole pack.
I was a big fan of which ones were like the cubes. I don't remember what brand that was, but it like instead of like a stick of gum, it was like a cube.
Bubblicious?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that stuff is good too.
I liked that one or Big Red, the cinnamon one.
Uh-huh. You know what they had for a while? Skittle gum.
What? I never heard of that.
Skittles, they were gum. Those were awesome, but they went away. It wasn't because I wasn't buying them. And it didn't say for a limited time or anything.
Well, that's why I just not sold good, so I stopped.
Yeah, apparently. But I did my best. Every time I went there, I bought at least 2 or 3 packs of that stuff. Again, I went through the whole pack, and then the leftover gum went in the box.
I knew a kid in college. I don't know where he found it, but like some giant freaking container of oh my God, what the hell was that? Oh, I can't think of it. Oh my God, my brain's not working. They were like there were balls of gum, like not gumballs, but like.
Oh, they're individually wrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now all I can think of is Bubblicious because it has something in bubble in the name, but it wasn't that one. Bubble Pop or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that. It has Bubble in the name. Mr. Bubble?
Wasn't Mr. Bubble the bath?
Super Bubble.
Yeah.
Because I call him Super Bubble Brett.
Super Bubble.
Super Bubble. Yep. But yeah, there was like, it was one of them things. It was kind of funny. So he was chewing gum in class, you know, and he shared a couple. And then the teacher, like, I don't know why he would. I mean, it's fucking college. What do you care if the guy's chewing gum? But he's like, did you bring enough for the whole class? Like trying to, you know, I guess yell at the kid or whatever. And he's like, actually, sure. And he pulls out this like giant bag and like tosses everyone in the class a piece of Super Bubble. And the teacher's just like, all right, you got me.
Now you shut your whore mouth. Ugh.
He was on my team for my senior project.
Yeah? What'd you guys do?
We made a fully autonomous robot for the Department of Defense.
Oh, that's awesome. So you started the whole cybernet thing.
The T-1000?
No, it was like a, you know, little robot like drove around.
25. Number 5 alive.
Yeah, kind of. Basically, like the requirements, it had like certain size requirements, and it had to carry a 20-pound payload.
Wow.
So, but it was a competition. Like, you had to make it, and then it had to be able to, like, go through this obstacle course and know, like, not to cross the white line. And I'll wait it out. And then there was another part of the competition where you're just in a big field and you downloaded a bunch of different like GPS waypoints, and it had to go to like all 5 of them and like sit there for a minute.
Mm.
That was pretty cool. We got 3rd place out of like 50 international schools.
Have you seen those competitions where they have the robots climbing stairs and opening doors?
He said this had to go up like ramps and shit and avoid cones. It had a video camera, which is what it used to see the white line to know not to go outside the white lines. And then it had a LiDAR system, which is just laser radar. And then it had the GPS. So it knew like not to hit shit. And previous competitions had a thing where they did follow the leader, where it would just like follow the one in front of it. And so the dude would like, he'd be using one with a remote control, and then there would just be like a bunch of these little robots trying to follow behind it. And I know that DARPA was working on that for, you know, transportation in, you know, like Iraq and shit, have like one dude driving a truck and then a bunch of other trucks that can drive themselves. That way, if a convoy gets hit, you know, there's not as much lost life. I guess robot lives don't matter.
Yeah, I remember when they had the self-driving cars, the first competitions. It's amazing how much they have gone past technology.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely, I learned a lot. I was mechanical, so I was just in charge of physically building the damn thing, you know. But some of the programming stuff with it, it was crazy. Like actually, the first one we did, the speed was turned up a little too high because we did like 3 runs of the obstacle course. So the very first one, it takes off. It's doing good. It comes to the curve, and it just goes straight, like right through the solid white line, and then starts turning left. So it's just like it couldn't process fast enough. And then the second one, you know, they turned down the motor speed so that it had time to process, and it didn't hit anything. It didn't go out of the lines, but I want to say there's like a 10-minute time frame, and we only got halfway through the course in 10 minutes because it just was going way too slow. And then the third one, we got about 3/4 of the way through the course. No one finished the course. We got like 3/4 of the way through, and it hit a thing, and like, you know, you lose points or whatever for hitting the thing. It ran into a barrel.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But still, I mean, like I said, we got 3rd place, so I mean, that's still pretty good. And one of the things we did, we had a interchangeable power source. Like we developed it to be module, which, you know, DoD loves module shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a hydrogen fuel cell, and then we had a battery pack. And so we used the batteries for like testing, and then used the hydrogen fuel cell for actually the competition. But that way, you didn't have to spend a bunch of money on hydrogen.
Mm.
You could have always done electrolysis and made your own hydrogen.
We could have, but I mean, this is our senior project. It's not like, you know, you fund it out of your own pockets or whatever fucking fundraising you can do.
Okay.
So
The school doesn't.
we only had a
assist
limited
at all?
amount of resources to work with.
The school doesn't assist at all. I remember when I was in high school, I made a lawnmower run off of just hydrogen. But it created its own hydrogen. We mounted a GM alternator to it that provided the electricity as running. So it just theoretically, as long as the water stayed in there, it would run indefinitely.
Ooh. Wish I had one of those.
My buddy made his. He had one of those VW Jettas, the diesel one, or not the. No, it wasn't the diesel one, and he makes his run on. He only goes through like maybe 30 gallons of gas a year, and he drives all over the damn place. But there are
I had
lots
a
of
friend
people
with
that.
a diesel rabbit that runs on waste oil. At least it used to when I knew him. I don't know what he's up to now. He blew up one motor. So.
Yeah, there's so much, like, we're held back so much by our government as far as like alternative fuels and stuff. It's ridiculous. Pretty much, if you don't fund it and build it yourself and have to know how to do it yourself, or at least the capability of funding it yourself, like, it'll be probably several more decades before we get to actually.
I don't know, man. People in the United States are very smart. People converting cars to electricity, to battery power. I
The
think
only
that
issues I've been seeing with those is like the electric cars are awesome if you live in like a cooler environment. But when I was in Vegas, those Priuses were first starting to come out, and they were blowing motors and starting on fire like crazy because they couldn't handle that Vegas heat, and the batteries were just burning up like crazy.
Oh. They should have adapted them to the desert. Like have
Well,
those
they
swap
have
coolers.
now. They've done other things now where they've integrated like fans and stuff to keep the batteries cool. But they originally mounted the batteries like underneath the back seat with like zero ventilation. So
Mm. I like Prius.
No, she wasn't working.
It's not working there?
She wasn't there today.
Oh. Did you wear a nice shirt?
I didn't change. I'm just wearing the gun channels or the gun websites.
Cool.
I missed like
do
3
it.
times now. The fuck? I should have asked about her, but then I'd be all creepy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is that one girl work here anymore? You know, the one that I have no idea what her name is, and you know all that.
She doesn't have a name tag.
Oh well, at least I got my Fago. It's really all that
The
matters.
blue one, right?
Yeah, got the blue.
All is good with the world. Let's see if I can get one of those drinks around me. Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Hey, wow, look. Even the website for Fago.com calls it pop.
Of course it does. That's what it is.
Yeah, find your pop. They got a pop shop at the FagoPop.com or Fago.com website.
You should order something, like get it shipped to you or something.
I'm looking. I'm looking to
Red
see if I
Pop
can
is
find
good.
a store nearby.
Rock and Rye is good. The orange is good. Obviously, blue is good.
The
Their
one with the
root beer's
cream
not very
soda.
good. Their cola is not very good.
My son's school just called. I guess they canceled school for the rest of the week. What the hell?
Hurricane?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad here, though. It never is.
Hmm.
Keep telling yourself that.
I'm really actually I'm kind of hoping for it. I'm hoping to do my Lieutenant Dan impression. Maybe I can make a YouTube video out of it.
Awesome. You got a shrimping boat?
No, but I work up in a tower, so I could go up there and just yell.
Uh-huh. Can go for a swim later on, though.
I could always go downtown and swim through all the flooded buildings.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of water there. If
Every
the tide
time,
is
every time it rains the slightest bit, like downtown just is always under like 3 or 4 feet of water. That's amazing how that happens when you build your town below sea level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I saw a video. There was big like flood water, and this lady was like stuck on her roof, and they called it like like redneck flood relief or whatever. But this dude in a big ass like monster truck drove through the water, and then she like jumped in the back of the truck.
So that's what I do
They
half
drove
the
for
time is
safety.
I got a big lifted truck. So like I'll go downtown and like, cause half my buddies are cops, and they'll call me and be like, "Hey, my fucking car floated off the road while I was helping some lady. Can you come pull me out?" And I'll drive down there and go pull them out.
My neighbor across the street's got a big army truck. That thing's pretty cool.
They're like the Deuce and a Half, the old Commando.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one around
Yep.
town.
I've always wanted.
Yeah, it's funny
one
when he
of
got
those.
it. It's like, why the hell did you get one of those things? And now, this wasn't me asking because I know why he got it. It's a fucking army truck. You don't need another explanation.
Yeah, why would
But he was like, well, you know, I wanted something that got a little bit better traction in the snow. I mean, honestly, it kind of works out good because he parks it in his driveway, and then when it snows, he just drives it out into the street, and then his driveway's clear.
those things will run off anything. You could pour whiskey in the damn tank and it'll run.
Yeah, he got it from an auction in Chicago. I think he said it was like $3,000.
Yeah, you can pick them up pretty
And he tried
cheap.
to do some work to it, but not much.
Mhm.
You can usually pick
So
them up.
he drove it back from Chicago, so it was running. Well,
There's a site, it's called govdeals.com. You can go on there and it's an auction site and they auction off all kinds of like DRMO, like military items, and every once in a while there will be like a deuce and a half. They're doing a bunch of Humvees right now, but you can go on there and purchase like a Humvee with like 12,000 miles on it for like $5,000.
yeah, Humvees are not really great everyday driver type cars.
Yeah, they suck. They're pieces of shit too.
I remember there was a guy that came up to the hardware store when like the first like Hummers came out, you know, for civilian. So they weren't necessarily the military ones.
Yeah.
And I was putting like topsoil or something in the back of his car, and it's like there's almost no room in that thing because they have a big ass like column that like runs over like the whole drivetrain and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like you got 2 seats in the front and 2 seats in the back and kind of a cargo area, but not really. It's like for how big it is, like fuck, dude, I can fit more stuff in my Explorer.
Yeah, they're not, and they're heavy. They're great off road. They're fun, but they're not fast at all. It takes forever to get up to speed in them damn things.
I like the website, but it needs help. It says that the Quality Dairy, which is 25.5 miles away in Grand Lodge, Michigan, is the nearest store I got.
What's 25 miles away?
Yeah, I didn't know that Grand Ledge, Michigan is 25.5 miles away from me. But the nearest pop is Rural King at 32.2 miles in Spring Hill, Florida. I might
Well, there you go.
I take a drive up there and find my pop. Maybe tomorrow or the weekend. Yeah, the weekend. I'll do it on the weekend. I'll look for a good pop.
Make sure you tell them Smeggy sent you. Maybe I can get Hit or Miss sponsored by Fago.
A discount. I know Smeggy.
Gun Channel's Early Lobby, brought to you by Fago.
Do they have a jingle?
Yeah.
Rock and Rye. There's got to be somewhere nearby that sells this stuff.
Usually, most gas stations, or at least the ones around here, if you tell them like this is something you're looking for, if they get enough interest in it, or if they've had other people ask for it, they'll start keeping it in stock, or they'll order a case and just throw it out and see if people buy it, and then they'll keep it in stock.
Yeah.
And I think they do have a jingle. I'm trying to remember it exactly, but it's something like, tell your mom to buy you a Fago, have that bitch take you up to the stove. Okay, that might have been an ICP Fago jingle, but it's something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Ah! My belt keeps coming untucked. What the fuck?
I had to mute the thing. I've been having phone calls here for some reason. I know it's political season, you know? Like 5 calls in a row. I hate political calls.
I
Yeah,
don't
those
get
are annoying. Andy!
Is he there?
Andy! Yeah, he's there. I just yelled at him through the window.
Wow. Fago has a lot of cool stuff on their website. History, mystery store, and more. Fago Music. I want to play the whole thing. Might get in trouble with the powers that be. I don't want to get the Fago people in trouble. You know, so I got some money and it's still daylight. I'm going to make the trip to my gas station and see if I can find some Fago. I'll be back in a minute or two.
Okay. I'm gonna sit here and drink water. Everybody's muted.
Be here in a couple of minutes. It's just next door. Hello. Is Maggie back?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, is Corey available?
This is him.
Hi, Corey, this is Mo. Just giving you a courtesy call with the VA Mortgage Center. How you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. Thanks for asking. So basically, I'm just calling in regards.
Yes, however, it is on the market right now. We're looking at getting another VA loan because we're buying land and putting a house on it. So. Yes, sir. All right, I won't be back until probably September of next year. I'm deploying like a week and a half. All right. Yep, thanks. Crap, I thought I muted it. Oops, sorry.
It's okay. I guess Maggie's out still. Maybe he's drinking his pop outside the door or something.
I thought he was talking to that guy that
Oh
was
yeah, his
walking by
friend
or- Yeah.
Andy. Oh, his pop's gonna get warm. Well, I hope you're gonna be safe in South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really that worried about it. Everybody kind of loses their mind always, but I'm a little bit more inland, like not right on the coast. So for the most part, we usually just get kind of rain.
Hmm.
And I didn't buy my house below sea level like some of these people. So
Yeah, over here I'm in Tampa and I'm at the last evacuation zone,
okay,
so I'm okay.
so you're in
Like
Tampa,
across the
Florida.
street is the last zone. I don't even have a color.
How does that all work? They've got like danger zone colors, or
Yeah, they begin with like letter A and B and so on until like D, and that is D. I don't know if we would. Well, I think that we'll evacuate if we have to, but we're not going to get it this time. It's going to the other side of the state. We might get a lot of rain, maybe. It doesn't look like it from the weather forecast.
yeah. That's really the only thing I'm kind of expecting is maybe some wind and some rain, which my grass could use some rain anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can use some rain because I mow lawns, so it's good for business.
Yeah.
I was hoping to go to a gun store today, but things didn't work out. I had to change the oil in my truck and mow this lawn.
Yeah, we just got a new Palmetto State Armory here, so I went there a couple of times. It's not too bad. It's a big store, but they still, because it's a brand new store, they're still working out some of the bugs with their system, so all their lines are long as shit.
Mm. I saw where they're looking for employment. I wish I was over there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still trying to hire lots of people. It's a huge store.
I'm always looking at their sales.
Yeah, I'm building one of their the Glock 9mm AR lowers right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building one of those. I just took it today to go get it Cerakoted. Then when I get back, well, my wife will end up fixing it up or picking it up because I'm getting ready to leave. So I'll get to mess with that when I get back.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know what to get though.
It is a
So
little overwhelming when you walk in there.
yeah. I want to maybe in the future get an AR-15. It seems like this is the right time for it because the prices are good. But I don't know what length of rifle. I like the original standard 20, but they sell a lot of the 16 at a very reasonable price.
Yeah, I
An
don't
AR
have any of
pistol.
the. Yeah, I don't have any of the 20-inch ones. I have a 18-inch SPR that I built for a little bit longer range, and then I've got a few 16 inches, and then I've got two. I don't have any of the pistols, but I've got two SBRs. One of them suppressed, one of them's not. I have a 7.5 inch that has a 6-inch suppressor on it, so that takes it up there. And then I've got a 10.5 inch that doesn't have a suppressor. That's my 9mm one. Is a 10.5 inch. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
and I
so
don't
cheap
know.
right now.
I don't understand the coatings as far as nitride and all those things. So I wouldn't know what to get. And they got their different rifling, like 1.7, 1.8, and wild, and
I try to get all mine in 223 wild just because they tend to be inherently more accurate. However, for what your like average individual does, if you're just going to be shooting like standard 55 grain rounds, you're not going to go up to anything heavier bullets. Just pretty much a 1-in-8 twist would be fine for anything. And then barrel length is pretty much just up to you. I mean, if you're just going to go to the range and shoot paper with it within 25 yards, it's just more of an aesthetic thing than actually something that's functional. Now, if you plan on shooting out to 400 or 500 yards with it occasionally, you could still do that with a 16-inch. However, it'd be easier with a 20-inch, get a little bit more velocity out of your bullets. But then that would be something where you'd want to upgrade up to like a 77 grain bullet. But it all depends on like what you want to do with it. But I do agree that if you are going to buy one, if I was going to buy my first one again, I'd probably get like a cheap basic model like an Anderson or something for $500 just to get into the playing field and do it, and then decide what you like and what you don't like.
I like the prices. They seem very reasonable.
Oh yeah, this is the cheapest I've ever seen them. And you can get kind of out of hand with them too. Like there have been times where I've been like, okay, I'm gonna build like a real cheap AR, and I'll get to the point where I'm almost done with it, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, I change my mind and I end up adding stuff to it, and it ends up going from what was planned on being like a $600 AR to like an $1,100 AR. But that's the great thing about how easy they are to build is you can do it like piece by piece. You don't have to shell out a whole bunch of money right at once.
What do they do that to the triggers for them to be a little bit expensive? Are they different kind of spring strength or?
Well, you can do spring strength. Most of them, it's just how much extra effort they put into like the machining process. Like after the machining process, like they'll go through and like polish it up, get rid of all the tool marks. That definitely adds cost. Anytime that they're just like anything else, anytime they're adding more hands-on stuff, the price is going to go up. And then you've got your self-contained units where everything is just in a self-contained unit. So all you do is literally just drop it in there and put your 2 pins in and you're done. Those are more expensive because those are the cool thing to do. And then you've got different pounds, weights, you got adjustable triggers. All that adds cost. I mean, for the most part, if you were to just get like a Palmetto State Armory lower build kit for like $30 or however much they cost, unless you're doing like competitions with it for like a first rifle just to have something kind of mess with, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. If anything, that's probably the best thing to get. It's simplistic, and if one part breaks, you can always just replace that one part, where if one of those self-contained units, something breaks on them, you're pretty much screwed and have to buy a whole new kit.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website right now.
I've got some pretty expensive triggers, and then I've got some ones that are just like the cheap stuff. And when you're doing like a class or running and gunning or whatever, if you're not sitting there paying attention to like every little bit of your trigger, most time you don't even notice the difference.
Hmm.
My wife's texting me. She's a cop, and she's saying people are losing their minds about the hurricane. Like they've got back-to-back calls. It's all accidents. People are just driving around crazy, and they've already had like 2 fights at Walmart for people buying like water and stuff. Like, calm down.
That's sad. And it's hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, like we haven't even. It's what's today's Tuesday. It's not even supposed to hit here until Friday. Like we got plenty of time. It's just sad that people don't even have like what does the average hurricane take to pass through? Like 8 hours max.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough stuff in your house to survive 8 hours, you've got problems.
Mm-hmm. We always have water. You always have water and some kind of canned food.
It's like, I don't know why people lose their minds. Like, even if we're without power or something, like, it's not like it's that ridiculous. We're not going to be below water like you guys would have problems in some parts of Florida or like Mississippi or things like that when a hurricane comes through. It's just not going to happen up here.
Hmm.
It's like, and most of these people are ones that have lived here like their whole lives and they should know better. But every time they still lose their minds.
It's time to panic.
Everybody lose your mind.
We're all gonna die.
I can't survive 8 hours without my cell phone.
What will I do?
Go to sleep. Wake up. It'll be better in the morning.
Yeah. It'll be sunny after it rains. Wow.
Then again, in 2009, it snowed here, like not even enough to like stick to the ground, and people were losing their shit.
Man, that is sad. The U.S. used to be tougher.
I just don't ever remember. Well, then again, I didn't live on the coast as a kid, but I just don't ever remember like any of this stuff being a big deal. Maybe I just didn't pay attention.
I lived here for a while, and I haven't seen any kind of fighting at the stores. I don't think we've been directly hit, but we have some close calls.
Where are you originally from?
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from Puerto Rico originally.
Okay.
And I came here when I was like 11.
Okay. Do you ever go back there and visit?
No. All my family's here.
Oh, okay. I got one of the guys I work with. He's from Puerto Rico, and he goes down there like every few months and visits.
Yeah, that'd be the only way to go, because I wouldn't want to live there. It's too much crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun. But it's very beautiful. And I like it that I don't have to have a passport to go,
Yeah, that's nice.
because it's part of the U.S., so you can do it too.
Yeah, we have. I'm in the military, but we have these like if we're sending a military aircraft somewhere and they've got like they call it space available travel. Like if they've got extra room for people on there, like you can take like leave, and you can be like, hey, I'm gonna hop on this plane. The only thing is it's absolutely free, but you're kind of taking a chance of hopefully an aircraft is gonna bring you back here.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while we send an aircraft down to Puerto Rico, and I thought about hopping on one of those just to go down and visit. And they come back and forth pretty regularly, so that'd be something where I could take like a few days off and just go down there and visit and kind of check it out and then come back. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet.
I don't know where you land though, but try to go see San Juan, especially the Spanish forts. They're from the 16th century. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Actually, I think that is where they fly into is SJU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably seen that at airport. That airport is nearby.
Okay.
I know where that is.
Yeah, it's definitely something on my list. I just haven't gotten around to messing with it. But like we can go all over. If we have an aircraft going to like Ramstein, Germany or whatever, like I could hop on that and just fly over there. And then just the biggest thing is like, okay, how do I get back now?
Yeah.
You always have to have that in the back of your mind. Like I might have to pay for a plane ticket to come back.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it's a one-way free.
Yeah. It's worth doing, I hope. Hope you do it, because I would do it. I always wanted to go see something different.
Yeah. I mean, I've been all over. I've deployed several times, so I mean, I've seen the shitty parts of the world, but for the most part of my travel, I think that's why, like, when I'm home, I don't really want to go anywhere. I just want to be home.
Yeah, I like home.
And for me, it's kind of a pain, like, if we want to go on, like, vacation as a family, just because I've got 3 dogs and we got to put those up and or take them with us. It's just kind of a pain.
Going to the restroom. I have a cat, 2 cats inside, and some cats outside. We just feed them a lot, and we can go. The ones
That's like,
inside, though, there's special. So I take them to my sister's house. She takes care of them.
cats are pretty, like, self-sufficient, though. Like, you can leave food out and stuff for them, though, can't you? And they kind of just
Yeah.
take care of themselves. Yeah, if I were to leave,
I make a self feeder. You know, you get a plastic thing like this, and you put a hole in them, just enough so that they can put the little paw in there and fill it with food. And gravity just takes care of the rest.
yeah, if I were to leave food out for my dogs, they'd eat it all the first day, puke all over the place, and then just starve the rest of the time.
Oh,
I got 3 really big dogs, though.
yeah, we used to have a big dog. Know what we would have done? I think I left it with a friend from work, and she boarded him. I guess she had a lot of money. I guess I don't know. I guess the dog had a little mini vacation of his own. It was a good
Yeah.
dog.
I don't know if I'd let somebody like a boarding place, like somebody I don't know, take care of my dog because they're like my little family. So I'd be kind of picky about that. Then again, everybody thinks that my dogs are dangerous and they're the biggest babies in the world. So they're all pit bulls, so they get that nasty stigma.
Yeah. There's a pit bull across the street. He is huge, but he is sweet. His name is Baby. He can put his paws. I'm 6 foot tall. He can put his paws right here. His head is bigger than mine, but he's sweet.
They're huge. Here, I'll show you one of mine. He's 115 pounds, so keep that in mind.
Wow.
But he's a big baby. I mean, you can just tell from it. See if it's working. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a
Hey,
big baby.
doggy. Uh-oh. Who's a dog? Who's a good doggy? Yeah, they're sweet dogs.
Yeah, all three of mine are like this. This one sleeps with my son, so
Neat. What is his name?
Cain, Cain.
Oh, political call.
I've never gotten one of those.
Well, we get him constantly. It's this is because we vote by mail, so apparently they know we do that. We vote a lot, so they call just to check to see we got it. And that's Marco Rubio, concerned about us and the hurricane.
Yeah, everybody is like asking because I'm a supervisor, so all the people that work under me are calling me, asking me, "Are we allowed to leave yet? Are we allowed to leave yet?" They're because the governor issued an evacuation notice. Well, that doesn't apply to us, so they're all texting me like, "Hey, are we supposed to be leaving?" I'm like, "No, you can't leave until our commander tells us you can leave, and I'll be the first one to let you know when you can leave." So we just kind of got to sit here, which sucks because I got two small kids. I can't leave, and my wife can't leave either because she's a cop, and they're having her do all the evacuation crap.
Yep.
So I pretty much, it would be kind of, I would have to have my mother-in-law drive down from. She lives way in, like 3 hours inland. Pretty much come down, pick them up, and take them. But I doubt it'll get to that point. Do they have, how long does this talk usually go to, or are they gonna have like another one later? I'm usually never on this late.
They'll have one later. You want to be on hit and miss? Hit or miss?
Sure. I've never done. This is the only thing I've ever done. I'll try it out though. I'm just kind of getting started in this.
Yeah. Well, Smeggy runs it with Cruz, I think. I've never been on it. I'm here to learn.
Yeah.
I ask questions and I follow along. It's better than TV. I think
Yeah, I
so.
mean, you can actually interact with people.
Yeah. From all over the world. Amazing. Wow. I think they're sensationalizing this hurricane a little bit. The Weather Channel calls it Deadly Matthew. Right there on the front page.
Where's it at right now? I was just going to look at that. It's still off the coast of Florida, isn't it?
It's almost. No, it's off Cuba. The lower tip, all the way to the east of Cuba.
So it hasn't even reached Florida yet?
Nope. It's near the Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay. All right.
My sister's in Miami, so she'll feel it first. She's in the cone of uncertainty, of deadly Matthew. I'm ready. See, I have a can of food, a lighter.
Do you have your camera on right now?
On what?
Do you have your I keep hearing like you talk like you have like your camera on, but all I see is just a picture of you I'm guessing is you and you're holding your like a camera facing the it's like a black and white picture. That's all I see.
Oh yeah, that's a camera. I did a
Okay.
selfie.
Okay.
I have a can of soup, a lighter, and some candles. I'm ready.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah,
You got a full tank of gas?
I mow lawn, so I got a lot of gas.
Okay.
And if I need to, I can drain my lawn tractor and all the stuff for more gas. Not that I will have to. We won't evacuate because I'm on the other side of the state, so we'll be okay. Might have to live without Wi-Fi for a while if the lines go down. But I got some lithium-ion batteries and my iPad somewhere. I downloaded some TV shows. So I got books. I'm ready. The thing that worries me is I don't important papers
Uh-huh.
that I wish I had in one spot.
Yeah, I have a just because like if we ever do get flooding or something, I have a it's not really a safe, but I have a Pelican case because it's watertight, and I keep like all like the kids like um birth certificates and wedding stuff and things like that. I keep all that in there, and that's just something that I can just pick up and throw into a vehicle, and I don't ever have to worry about getting wet. I can throw crap on top of it, and that's something. And it's all the originals. Anything else, I always just use copies of.
Yeah, this is what I got. My title for my car and birth certificate and papers from the bank. But
All right.
I know I'm missing something.
How's it going? If we had another visitor.
Hello? Gotta check the battery on that clock. I'm gonna check out those Andalusian people. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey man, how's it going? Did everybody run away?
What? Sorry, music was really loud.
Well, I was just wondering if everyone like ran away or whatever.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody when I came in.
I jumped out to talk to my buddy that I used to work with, and then I ended up kind of talking to him for longer than I expected. Kind of felt bad. He was painting, and I was just standing there talking to him. I was like, dude, I fucking hate painting. I'm not going to offer to help.
Hmm.
So what did I miss yesterday? The thumbnails for both the lobby chats showed some dude riffing on his guitar. What is this now, Riff Channels?
I don't know. I missed yesterday's shit. I haven't been on it in a couple of days. Wouldn't surprise me though. We get pretty random in here sometimes.
Yeah, I was just catching up on the Every Second Matters all-day show on Sunday. I got probably about halfway through until the Yankee Marshal started ranting and raving, and I had to shut it off. That guy gives me the willy sometimes.
He definitely. I don't think he's a bad guy. He's definitely not afraid to go against the grain sometimes.
I think everybody reaches their Yankee Marshal critical mass. You know, whether it's 500 videos or 1,000 videos or, boy, you just got to shut them off.
I like his outtakes.
I like Yankees videos.
I love his outtakes. I think he's funny. And I know that's what he's going for. But when he does his outtakes at the end of his videos, I always end up laughing my ass off. But I've watched some of these, and I've seen people definitely when they get frustrated with him.
Well, the volume that he's been able to amass is remarkable. He has a lot of production in terms of volume. And
Is he retired now? Is that why he's able to make? Because I've had it where he's made like 3 videos in one day.
I think it's his full-time gig now.
Oh, cool.
Well, and he can also, I mean, you can make videos whenever and just post them all on the same day if you want to. Like, it doesn't mean that he made all those videos in the same day.
Oh.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm just saying that a lot of people will make a whole bunch at once and then post them, like, whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he's independent and that he puts his own spin on things and he's not beholden to any of the big manufacturers. But in that Every Second Matters chat on Sunday, I got to preface this by saying I had to shut it off just 5 minutes into his rant, so I don't know what became of it. But he just started going at the Big Three event, and this is an event that I've heard of for years, and it sounds like it's got a good following, and it's not like a Second Amendment rights event. But so I don't know why we can't just kind of coexist. Like Yankee always has to go off on the Christian right, and that's fine. But like, there's a lot of people in this world, and we do all need to kind of get along at some point and look towards our common interest. I've become a single issue voter specifically because of Second Amendment rights. So if you want to worship Jesus or Muhammad, it doesn't matter to me. Just as long as, you know, our basic rights are preserved.
I agree with you completely. We got a long way to go before that's not so much a small group reality, which is kind of where it's at right now, but like a generalized reality where everybody kind of feels that way. It's not right, but we're a long way away from that. What happens when you got so many people with so many different views of how they feel things should be run, and there's always going to be some clash somewhere.
Yeah, and this country was built on capitalism, so companies wanting to put profit as their priority is not a problem for me either. Like I think there's enough room for everyone, you know, the profiteers and the grassroots individuals to thrive. Hey, so on a different topic, have you guys talked at all about Bass Pro Shops' acquisition of Cabela's?
I'll be honest with you, I saw a couple of posts on Facebook about it. However, I didn't have a chance to actually click on the link and see what was going on. So, what's going on with all that?
I just heard they bought them outright. It seems like a perfectly logical acquisition to me. I mean, they're basically the same store, from what I can tell.
I didn't know
And,
Cabela's was hurting.
I don't think they are. I think there's just like so much territory in the country, and Cabela's has their share, and Bass Pro Shops has their share, and why not just combine?
Are they keeping the name, or are they going to end up?
I would assume they're going to keep the name. I was just in a Cabela's this morning, and the people that were working there were talking about it. So who knows what'll happen? But I can't imagine they'd want to spend all the money and rebranding to change all the storefronts and all the advertising.
Especially since there's people that are, like, have grown up like, I like Cabela's or I like Bass Pro, to change the name and spend the money on it. And your average person doesn't care that somebody owns both companies. They just know, well, I grew up going to Cabela's and I like Cabela's.
Yeah, like I'm in California right now, and there's Bass Pro Shops, or at least one Bass Pro Shop, or two. I think there's two that I know of. But there are no Cabela's in California. So, I think it's just a market share, like maybe it's more of a merger than an acquisition. Again, I've been in both, and they both seem to offer the same product line. At least not, maybe not necessarily the same brands. I don't know, but definitely the same type of products. Your basic general outdoors, hunting and fishing. Everything from clothing to boats.
Yeah. We don't have one right around in my area. I think the nearest one is like 3 or 4 hours away. We've got Sportsman's Guide, we've got Dick's, and we've got what's that other one? Gander Mountain. That's what we've got like in my immediate vicinity.
Yeah, I've got to admit, the only reason I shop Cabela's is for the sales, free shipping, in-store pickup, that kind of thing. I mean, once in a while, I will pay full price for an item. But it's generally like, you're such a big corporation, you're constantly offering sales and discounts. Where are they? Like, what can I stock up on? Today I bought like a full outfit, a pair of pants, a jacket, and a knit hat for $100 out the door. And it's good quality stuff. The hat is actually made in America, made in the USA.
I remember when I was in Vegas, they had I think that was a Bass Pro. They had a huge Bass Pro there, and I always went to, like, because they would put on, like, they had like an indoor like tank with all the bass and stuff in it, and they'd put on like fishing show or fishing
I've been to that one.
and-
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I didn't really buy anything there. I think because of what it is, a lot of the stuff is marked up. It's pretty high in price, and I'm not like an instant gratification type person. I don't mind ordering something online and waiting a few days for it to get here. But the shows were kind of cool.
Yeah, that aquarium is massive. It's like 2 stories, and there's a bar right next to it. And that whole store is huge. I remember we went there with a newborn, and he loved seeing all the fish swim around. And I think they sent a diver in there. I don't remember if it's that big, but I think there was a show with a diver inside the tank. Is that right?
Yeah, I remember. I know what tank you're talking about. They have a separate one that's actually inside the store too. You're talking about the one that's by that like bar right outside of it. Like they're connected, but it's right, and they have like little. They have girls that are dressed up like mermaids and they swim around in there and stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. And then the store is 2 stories, and I
Yeah.
think all the guns are up on the second story, and it's
Yep.
just like this whole like gallery of guns, and I think all the fishing was on the first story. And they have like this indoor fishing like fly fly pool or something like I don't know.
Yeah.
We were kind of just passing through, but what struck me was that they also had just general outdoors clothes if you wanted to go for a hike. You know, you can
Yeah.
get like a Columbia, and that's what Cabela's. That's what I got today. Cabela's. I got a nice Columbia jacket for $55 on sale. And it's a sweet jacket. I just tried it out on a bike ride, and it's just like perfect spring or fall type, thin, breathable, with like pockets in the right places. I love Columbia as a brand. They have a really good value. I know it's all made overseas, but in terms of value and function, Columbia is my favorite brand.
I think we have an Under Armour outlet mall here, so I pretty much just kind of stick to Under Armour just because of where it is. I have a couple of Columbia things. I just, for the most part, I kind of that, and I don't have a whole lot of jackets anyway. I'm in South Carolina. It doesn't really get that cold here, so.
Are you in the direct line of Hurricane Matthew?
Yeah, we keep getting like messages and stuff. The governor sent out she recommends everybody evac, and we're in a state of emergency. But I can't leave anyway. I'm active duty military, so until our base commander tells us we're allowed to leave, I'm kind of just stuck here. So
So are you housed on the base?
no, I live off base.
I'm just thinking about the quality of the structure you're living in. I
Uh,
don't know how close you are to the coast either. I think if you're inland somewhat, then
I'm
the
about from the coast. It's maybe like a 30-40 minute drive from here, as long as
uh,
traffic isn't too shitty. So I mean, I'm
so
a little
it's
bit more
probably.
in.
I think because to be honest, I've lived through a hurricane, and we were right on the coast, and it was fucking nuts. And we lost 28 pine trees on the property, which isn't that big. About half the trees on the property came down. Luckily, none of them hit the house. But yeah, I mean, we were kind of just like, whatever. And it luckily no windows or anything broke. But the wind was ferocious.
Yeah, that's usually. I've been here for almost 6 years now, and every year we have the same thing. And for the most part, like it doesn't where I'm at. Like we get a lot of wind and we get a lot of rain, but it's not like damaging type winds. There's really nothing here to be like thrown around or anything. Um, but we get a lot of rain, and the people that live further down the hill, like way the hell down the hill, they end up getting some like where the water, because we've got drainage ponds at the end where all the water flows into, and sometimes they'll overflow and they'll get close to the water down there, but we don't ever get anything like up where my actual house is. It's just a shit ton of rain, and but I doubt it'll be anything crazy. They close the schools. Like my son doesn't have to go to school the rest of the week pretty much, so but it's not too bad.
They closed the schools for all week.
Yeah, my son's school called me probably about 2 hours ago and said that the rest of the week it's closed because it's not supposed to hit here until like Friday. But with the governor sending out the state of emergency stuff, like They're pretty much shutting stuff
You guys
down.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I'm using a different mic, so I was just making sure it was working.
Yeah, you sound really good. It's really clear.
Oh, cool.
You sound like a different person with that mic. Are you okay?
Really?
Tell us something only Foos would know.
Fuck you, Smeggy.
Everybody knows that. How many grains of powder do you use to reload 9mm?
4.2.
I don't know, so I'm going to assume that that's right.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, but he's a competition little, bunny fart type reload. So
Just have him say Chilean.
No, it's a 124 grain projectile going about 10 between 1030 and 1060 feet per second.
All right, here's the question. If you were going to make a subsonic 308 round using 220 grain bullet, would you use H110 or H335?
Whichever one's the pistol powder.
I would use Unique.
Yeah, I would actually go Unique as well because you want a pistol powder. You want something that builds pressure pretty quick but doesn't keep burning as it goes down the barrel so you don't push it supersonic.
I use 14 grains of H110 in mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to start a reloading chat. Just want to make sure we don't have an imposter in the chat. He sounded different. I don't want my lobby to actually have substance to it. Come on.
Yeah, you definitely sound better. You don't sound as kind of like coarse. Like on the other mic, you sounded much more coarse.
Yeah, this one I'm using through my headset that I've always had, but I got an extra cord because my computer is all the way across the living room, so I'm using this mic instead of the mic that's on the camera.
Holy shit! It's weird watching Foos talk because it's like watching like a kung fu movie. The lips don't move up with the lips don't move like go with the sound. This is like watching a kung fu movie. Like you stop talking and like you're still talking on the camera.
Fuck you.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'll go off. I just won't allow you guys to see my pretty mug, so.
That's all right. We always just stare at the AK behind you.
That's why it's there.
That's my strategy. Let's see if there's anything good on TV. MLB postseason? Is it the fucking playoffs already?
For what?
Baseball.
I'd say so. I mean, it's October.
American League wild card game. I wonder if Detroit got in. I know they were a couple games behind last time I checked.
Oh, are you guys having hit or miss tonight?
You think so? Nice strikes out there.
Can I join in on this one?
I didn't know if you guys are going to be doing another chat with the debates.
What's tonight's hit or miss about?
I don't know. We're just gonna wing it like always. But the debates, isn't it like the vice president debates or something this time? Like those.
Yeah,
who gives
who
a shit?
cares? Like they're both. I heard that they're both just fucking idiots. Like, like someone last night was telling me in the chat. They're like, you know what, dude? Like, I'm not even gonna watch that. Like, they're both fucking idiots. Like, it's not like, yeah, it's. I'll just wait for Hillary.
What the hell do you expect? I mean, look who chose them. If two idiots are going to choose two people to be their running mates, they're going to be idiots themselves.
Yeah, I heard the Democratic guy, like, he'll just be talking and out of fucking nowhere, like, switch over into Spanish and, like, start talking, like, fluent Spanish and shit. Like out of nowhere, like, he's possessed. Like all of a sudden, like, you'll be, like, mid-sentence and just switch over to Spanish and shit. I'm like, this is fucking America. Like, what the fuck? You know, I don't speak Spanish. Like, what the fuck?
So evidently, gun owners set new gun buying record in September.
Yeah, in September you saw that too. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Dude,
By,
we've been setting records for the past 3 years.
13%, dude. Like 13%
Yeah.
more. It wasn't just by a little. it was by a lot.
Almost 2 million guns. 19.8 million.
It's people
does that
like
mean there's
Yankee panic buying lowers, AR lowers and shit. That's what it's causing it.
Was there 19.8 million more murders this month then? Because I heard that every gun owner is a murderer waiting to happen.
Of course. No, that's just people over in Paris whenever they see what's her face. Hold her up and steal like $10 million worth of jewelry. Who fucking walks around with $10 million worth of fucking jewelry on them?
Rich people?
That's people that want to get robbed.
Fucking rich people.
There's nothing wrong with rich people. I'd like to be one day.
I wouldn't. That means I haven't bought enough guns and ammo.
Okay, well then send me your money and you won't be rich. And you can be rich without having a lot of cash flow. If you had millions of dollars worth of guns, I'd call you rich because your total worth is still like a millionaire.
True. Yeah. And then no matter what after the election, it's going to go up because if Hillary gets elected, it's going to go up exponentially. If Trump gets elected, it's still going to go up. No matter what, it's going to go up.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be millionaire status once Hillary's elected, so that's why I'm voting for Hillary. She's going to make me a millionaire.
Just buy a shit ton of AR mags and leave them in the package and buy a fuck ton of lowers and just wait.
See, I'm not so sold on that. I mean, everyone's buying everything now. There's so much out
I know,
there.
but there's so many kids every single day in this country of like 350 million. How many kids turn 18 tomorrow or the next day or the next day? And like, yeah, dude, there's so many kids that don't have an AR yet and so many young guys going into the military and stuff like that. They're like, you know, every day there's 100,000 more fucking kids that just turned 18, you know? Like,
it's true.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If, like, I have a ton of lowers, but that's just because I'm always starting a new project and stuff. I don't really sell them, but if it's kind of nice to know that just having a lower that I spent $35 on like 2 years ago, at any point in time, I could sell for $80, $90 if I wanted to.
I still have some shitty Tapco lowers that I paid $35 for. And they're 70, 75 T6 aluminum, you know, but I paid $35 for them. I don't know, like maybe, let's see, 3 years ago, about a year after Sandy Hook, you know, I bought like 10 of those things, like $35 a piece, dude. And I bet you those will be selling, the shittiest lower will be selling for a couple $100, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, the Anderson lowers a couple months ago were selling for, I could get them all damn day for $40 out the door, and now they're 60 shipped.
Yeah, I'm an FFL dealer, and I have a stock with, or I have a dealer account with Anderson. They're like $30 for their just not even like their blem ones, but just their standard like multi-cal stripped lowers. $30. I mean,
by chance,
it's like
what is your store number?
I'm sorry, what?
It's just
He wanted your store number.
Just curious.
That's gonna live. That's gonna live on forever, man.
Yeah.
You need store number. Am I missing something?
I buy all
It's
my
a-
Andersons for about $50, and you know that's about like what I pay for them. And sometimes I'll get them on package deals for like 40 or 45 a piece if I buy like 3 or 5 packs. But usually it's about $50 straight up is what I pay for an Anderson. And So it's not. I don't know. Yeah, I think they're a great fucking lower. Like the only bad thing about Anderson is that the quality of the anodizing isn't as rich black or as thick as like a Spike's. That's the only fucking
And I
difference.
could give
between
two
the two.
shits about that.
Yeah,
Well,
both
they can be a little
machines are the
rough
same.
in like the holes. Like sometimes the pins are a little hard to get in.
I haven't
Like a
had
little
that
clip
issue.
work.
I've never had that
Yeah,
issue with an
I
Anderson.
haven't had
but
that
I always
issue either.
I've never had an issue with an Anderson, man. Like the only issue with Anderson, honestly, is they use a 3/4 inch grip screw instead of a 1 inch. So if you buy an LPK that comes with like a standard like 1 inch grip screw, you gotta like Dremel off a 1/4 inch of that screw or go buy a new one. That's the only issue with Andersons is they use that stupid 3/4 inch grip screw because they had a person use one of those modified grip screws for their trigger and it turned their gun fucking full auto and they shot up some stuff. And and so ever since then they were like, okay, we're gonna like mill our receivers so you can't use those stupid fucking grip screws. So that's the only issue with Andersons is that grip screw. That's it.
We just got a new Palmetto State Armory that opened up here in Somerville, and they sell their strip lowers for like $49 a piece.
Is Arrow still machining the Palmetto, or did they switch over in January when they started doing barrels? Do you know?
My buddy works for DC Machine, and Palmetto State Armory just bought them, so I think DC Machine's going to
Machine
start
is
making
doing the
lowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that for a while, Arrow was doing their lowers and their uppers, like all the Palmetto State Armory uppers that come with the Arrow Forge Mark, like they're all machined by Arrow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, back in January, Palmetto started doing like their own barrels, man. Some of their own barrels. So
Yeah, I
like
think
pretty much
DC
like all
Machine
those.
is taking over.
Yeah, all the nitride and like Freedom barrels, like that you see the nitride and Freedom barrels. Those are all made in house now by Palmetto. So
That's cool. I'm building one of their. Well, I've already got it. I've got all the parts built, but it's off at Cerakote right now. But I'm building one of their 9mm Glock. I bought the upper from them, and then I bought the lower, and I'm doing a 10.5 inch SBR out of it.
did you have to use their upper?
You don't have to use their upper. The only thing I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but everything's compatible with other 9mm. You just have to use their bolt, or I guess the last round bolt hold open won't work with their lower. Now that's just what I've
Quick
heard.
question: where's the magazine release on that one?
It's on the
The
right
same-
hand side. It's on the
Is it the
exact
same
same side.
position?
It's just instead of it just being a button, it's just a button that you push that's got a little arm attached to it. If I had it here, I would bring up the camera, but it's got a little arm attached to it that just releases it further up because it's a pistol mag instead of a full length rifle mag.
Okay, that's what I was wondering is because a local shooter, he started to shoot a pistol caliber carbine in the USPSA, and he has it, and his lever is actually on the front that you have to actually engage with your offhand.
Oh no, it feels just like a standard M4.
Okay, because I mean I've heard a lot of people talking about trying out the PCC thing this winter, just for shits and giggles, and a lot of people are going with the CZ Evo.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're everyone's SBR in them.
Oh yeah,
So,
of course. That's the thing to do.
I just wanted to know what you were doing.
Yeah. I like the Palmetto State one because when I held it, I was like, okay, all the controls are the same. My muscle memory is exactly the same from an M4. You do have to push a little harder because you're releasing a pistol mag instead of a rifle mag. It just seemed like you got to push a little bit harder, but it was nothing crazy. Now I kind of wish I had it here, but I just dropped it off today.
All right, no big deal. But yeah, it was just this past weekend whenever I was out shooting. That's what a lot of people were talking about, was doing pistol caliber carbine this winter and next spring.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that Law tactical folding stock on it. I'm pretty much just trying to make it as small as possible, but I didn't want to go any smaller than a 10.5-inch barrel because the next option is that 7-inch barrel, and at that point, I could just get a pistol with a 7-inch barrel.
Right. Except you won't have the stock. You won't,
Yeah.
But
I think 10 is like a good length. That way, at least I still get some extra velocity out of it, and then when I suppress it, like 147 grain bullet coming out of a 10.5-inch barrel, that'll be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Well,
for a 9mm, for a 9mm, for the 9mm, they make a 4-inch barrel too, not a 7. Like they make the 7 too, but the smallest they make is a 4. So
I didn't know they made it 4.
Yeah, a couple companies make a 4-inch 9mm barrel, and those are actually kind of fun, man. Like they really are.
And if you really think about it, having 147 grain, you're not going to be breaking the sound barrier. But if you put my ammo through that gun, it'll probably break the sound barrier just because I'm right at the cusp as it is.
Yeah, I was kind of. I'm gonna have like if I ever want to like use it for like a home defense type purpose or something, or like any sort of defense type purpose. I've got some of those civil defense rounds that are supposed to be doing like that are supposed to be doing like 2,000 feet per second out of a 5-inch barrel. I bet that'd be cool as shit coming out of a 10-inch barrel.
Dude, that'd be like 2,300 at least.
Oh yeah, I bet they're hauling ass. I fired 5 of them through a buddy of mine. He has an MP5. And they were, that was cool as shit. 0 recoil.
And that's only a 7-inch barrel, isn't it?
I believe so. I'm not a huge MP5 fan or expert, so it's not very long.
For the MP5, I think they have like one of those MP5 series is like a 4.5-inch barrel, and then the other one I think is a 7-inch barrel. So, but they do have a 4.5-inch MP5. I don't know if that's the K or what designation that one is, but they do have a real short barreled one.
His was suppressed, and with those civil defense rounds, I literally, like, if I wasn't paying attention to pulling the trigger, it had 0 recoil. It was just going. It was fun though.
Well, yeah, they're super fast, super light, so it barely cycles a pistol. So if you put it into an SBR or something heavier like that, hell yeah, there's gonna be nothing. I'm surprised that the bolt even unlocked. The roller's unlocked.
It ran perfect.
Wait. MP5, those are roller delayed blowback, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just not a very strong lockup. Okay. I'm just trying to compare it to my HK clone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the bolt on that MP5 is going to weigh less than the average 9mm slide. And they use like stiffer I think, doesn't it have dual recoil springs in it? So.
I would almost say that the entire bolt and bolt face is going to be heavier than a slide.
Than the average 9mm slide in a little MP5? I've seen some of those out of the gun. They look pretty skimpy, man. They don't look like they're all that beefy and bulky. It's not like an AR bolt.
No, but you're going all the way up to the charging handle and everything like that. Well, the
charging handle doesn't reciprocate.
Pushes on.
Yeah, the charging handle.
Right, but I'm saying where the charging handle hits. Yeah, I know it doesn't, but I'm saying where the charging handle hits the bolt. I mean, that entire piece is going to be reciprocating inside your firearm, and that's a pretty big chunk.
Where's Flippy at? He's he's got one of those ISIS guns. He could tell us how heavy that bolt is. To me, I don't know for sure. I'm just saying from the pics I've seen, they look pretty fucking. I don't know. I have no idea how much they would weigh.
MP9.
Oh, yeah, he's got one of those MKE Zenith guns.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for their bolts.
Foos, you're here.
I've got one of those
Yeah.
High Point carbines, and it cycles that thing, and I think that's got a pretty heavy bolt in it.
Well, I guess it does look a lot more skeletonized than I thought. So yeah, maybe you're right.
I shot a high point carbine this weekend. It was fun.
They are kind of
Yeah, I
fun.
heard those things don't kick at all.
The 41
Or
does.
recoil, I should say. Really?
Yeah, my buddy, I bought the 9mm one. It was like $180, and then my buddy bought the 40 caliber one. And I almost don't like shooting his because it wasn't that it was like a heavy recoil, but the way that they have their buttstock fine, it felt like someone was like stabbing me in the cheek every time I pulled the trigger. But I'm also the type of person that likes to really mash my cheek down on the stock.
Interesting.
But
Giggity.
I've also shot the 45 one, and I didn't have the same problem with that. So I think it was just kind of, maybe it was his.
Well, it's low pressure round versus a high
Yeah.
pressure round, probably.
So that's a good topic. How much pressure is too pressure? Sorry. How much pressure is too much pressure on a cheek weld?
Depends. I don't think it negatively really affects anything. I mean, if you're pressing so hard where you're raising up your front sight, I would think that would be more uncomfortable before you would decide it was too much.
Like 5 pounds per square inch?
I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
I've
For
never
enough pressure.
measured it.
Anyways,
Some people
so
got
Foos,
really
I got that rifle.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well, I
got
figured
the-
you asked me how.
Yeah, because I'm
You asked
having a
me
little.
how,
I'm having a little issue with it because it's the bolt is kind of getting sticky inside of the receiver.
when you
So,
first start to cycle it,
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of force to break it at the very beginning, and that's normal.
What'd you get?
what I did was I took it out, and I know you and Flippy have mentioned use lithium grease or some sort of grease, whatever. But I just went, and since it was really dirty, I just went and sprayed some CLP inside of it and then cleaned all the parts off and dabbed them with CLP just to see if that would get it to cycle better. And funny enough, guess what?
Okay.
It worked.
Cycle better.
What did
Yeah.
you get?
A Century C308.
Okay. Is that something that
It
you
sent
can,
me.
is that something you could put like some lapping compound on the bolt or something and just cycle the action a few times and smooth it out?
No, because it's like an MP5.
No,
Oh,
it's
It's
okay.
a roller lockers.
HK91 G3.
Okay.
It's basically a G3 derivative, a SETME derivative, HK91. Here, let me turn the camera on so you can see. Oh no, camera.
Because whenever I build a new AR, a lot of times I put some lapping compound. I got one of those kits where you can lap the bolt and you just run it through there a few times and it makes it smooth. Okay, yeah.
Do you just lap your bolt face, or do you also lap the front of the upper receiver gouge guns when you do that?
I do the upper receiver too.
Okay, yeah, because I always do the upper receiver first before I do the bolt face.
Yeah. And I do the same thing with all my bolt guns too. I just like everything to be kind of smooth. I mean, I know eventually it'll smooth itself out just from messing with it, but I like to kind of speed through that break-in process.
Well, this is a used gun, so. Oh.
What gun is that, Night Strike?
It's the Century C308.
Is that Century Arms?
Yeah, Century Arms. You
And now is that just a kit they put together and like from like some other country, or is that all
I think it's
American?
I think it's a rolled receiver that they did, and they just got a bunch of. From what I can tell, is some of the parts are from a SETME and some of the parts are from an HK91. Okay, because the stock, the stock spring, the hand guards, everything minus the muzzle brake and the cleaning kit cover are HK91 parts. But the cleaning kit cover has the bayonet lug on it, and that's a semi-bayonet. Then it's got Sentry's, its proprietary muzzle brake or whatever.
Now, have you shot? Did you say you shot it yet?
Yeah, I've shot it, but it's. I don't know if it was just because it was dirty, but it was short stroking, and on ejection it would get stuck.
Okay.
So,
What kind of ammo were you shooting?
I was just shooting, 308 Perfecta, just whatever was closest on me. Granted, it was
that
brass.
150? Is that 150 grand?
No, I think it's 147. Let me get the box out. I can tell you.
Isn't that Perfecta loaded just a little light? I don't know.
I thought the Perfecta was kind of like the Tula, where it's light.
No, it's brass cased, of course. It's boxer primer, 147 grain full metal jacket.
Does it have a velocity on there?
Huh?
Does it have an advertised velocity on there by any chance? Or pressure?
It does not. Remember, it's cheap ammo you buy at Walmart.
Yeah, the Perfecta 5.56 I bought, that all was loaded pretty light, about the same as like Tula.
You're trying to compare 5.56 to 308. I'm not
comparing it to it. I'm just saying that the Perfecta ammo I've tried seems to be loaded light.
I've never had problems with Perfecta's 9mm. I've even had some of their 45, and I've used their 223. I don't have any problems with them, but the 308, I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe it's just that the rifle was a little the inside of the receiver was just a little dirty, and so is the carrier. And I just had to clean it off, wipe it off, and just clean it off with some oil because it's cycling better now. It's not sticking as much. So I don't know.
I've never used Perfect. I can't remember the last time, other than testing out like defense rounds, I've shot anything other than my own reload. So I'm kind of out of the loop on the.
I seem to recall a video I just recently watched by G-Webs where he tested a bunch of Ring of Fire guns right as he had gotten them, and some of them needed to be cleaned, and they didn't operate very well.
Did you notice if that Perfecta ammo was dirty like Tula usually is, or was it pretty clean?
It didn't seem any worse than Tula.
Okay.
I've been shooting this Wolf brass 223, and when the gunpowder is ignited, it smells like firecrackers.
Suppose I could grab one of my long range babies and show that off a little bit. You guys all know what the Ruger Precision is, right?
Yeah, I know what the Ruger Precision is.
Yes, we do.
Here's mine. It's in 6.5 Creedmoor.
That's pretty tricked out.
Atlas bipod. I put the Magpul stock on it because I thought the factory stock that comes on it to me was kind of flimsy. I hated it, and I went with the like regular Hogue, like sniper grip, things like that. But they're supposed to be making a Timney trigger coming out for it here pretty soon, and I might end up trying that, even though there's nothing really wrong with this trigger. But
that palm shell is huge.
Yeah, I love it though. It makes a huge difference, at least for me. Because like when I'm doing long range shooting, I don't get like a full grip like I normally would on an AR. Half the time, I just end up kind of like thumbs forward and just slightly. Because for the most part, like this hand really isn't doing anything other than pulling the trigger, especially at long range shots. You don't want to have a whole lot of forces pulling on your rifle.
So, Garage, where you at?
Charleston, South Carolina. I'm stationed at Charleston Air Force Base.
I know where that is. I'm in Walterboro. Yeah. I used to live in North Charleston, but I'm glad I moved out into the country because I have my own range in my backyard. And two, the hurricane, while we're under a state of emergency right now, the hurricane ain't coming anywhere near close.
Yeah, I just bought 50 acres about 20 minutes outside of St. George, and I'm building a house out there right now, so I'm going to end up having like a 1,000-yard range.
I may come over to your house.
Oh, yeah, you're more than welcome to come hang out.
I mean, I'm in Walterboro. I've got 30 acres. I mean, if you need a place to shoot, if you can't do it on base, then, come on over.
Yeah, we can't do anything on this, but you can shoot skeet on this range, on this base. That's about it. But when I get back from this deployment, we're going to set up the range out there and everything, get everything all cleared out, and then we're going to start teaching like CCW classes out there and things like that.
Where are you getting deployed?
I don't know yet. Usually we, in my career field, I usually don't find out until after we get our security brief.
I'd like to thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And then the shitty part is about this deployment is I'm supposed to be leaving here anytime between now and like the 18th.
All I'm going to tell you, man, is don't screw up. Don't screw up. I have to be that voice of reason that says, thank you for serving, but don't fucking screw up because we don't want to hear of another screw up in our country.
Yeah.
We already have two of them running for president, right?
No comment.
Yeah, of course you won't comment. You're in the military. You don't want your new boss
That's the one thing
pissed
is
off.
like, that's the one thing is like when you guys do like your chats and stuff, I always listen to them, but I almost feel like if I were to get in on some of them, like I'm not going to be able to really talk very much because there's only so much like I'm allowed to really have an open forum opinion, especially once like I make the comment that I am in the military, like then it kind of shuts me down from being able to comment on certain things.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. I just practice that don't ask, don't tell thing because that's got to work for something.
Well, it's not good anymore. They closed all that shit down.
See that?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be good for something. So now yeah.
So that's perfectly fine for me because I hate when we get all political in our own chats. Like, there's been times when I'm just like, all right, Night Strike and Sean's got this covered. I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Here, my buddy's building a SBR right now. He wants to know if he should get the Magpul sights or the Troy sights. What do you guys think?
Troy.
Okay. He's getting the.
What is he going to have a different optic on it, or what else is he going to have on it?
I think he's going to end up putting an Aimpoint Micro on it.
Go with Troy sights. They're fucking bulletproof.
I have both. The Magpul ones that flip up. I'm talking about the metal ones.
Yeah.
They don't have a locking. They don't lock up.
The Imbus ones.
But the Troys do.
Okay. Do you have the Troy?
No, the
diamond
pros.
Ones? Do you have the diamond ones or the other Troy, like the standard one?
Well, I have. I don't have the rear sight with me, but it's the HK folding battle sight.
Okay.
Is the one I have.
I don't like to keep my front sight and my rear sight in the same place at the same time.
The good thing about Troy's is that you can customize your front sight too and your rear. And like the front, you can get the HK style or the AR style with the diamond rear. So the Troy's, there's definitely more options for the Troy's. And and depending on how high he wants that dot, like if he's going to go with the high riser mount, or if he decides to go with the low mount, then you can get like the Troy Micros. which will co-witness with the shorter mount, and
Oh shit, he's here.
I would definitely look at the Troys.
I ordered a set of the 45-degree angle Troy ones, and I'm putting those on my SBR that I'm building right now.
And then tell your friend if he wants the Troys for the best price he's going to find, just go to Walmart.com, and that's the place I buy all my Troy sites for because they're always the cheapest price and free shipping.
They have Troy at Walmart?
Yeah, believe it or not, at Walmart.com, believe it or not, that's where you get them, dude. That's the cheapest price for them.
And Tony's here. If you need to ask someone about bolt guns, Tony is our bolt gun aficionado.
All right.
So
Is that
Night
just 'cause
Stray,
he's old?
what-
Dude, Wally World's fucking weird. They even sell like Silencer Co. like silencer parts on Walmart.com.
And yes, Foos.
What is the topic for shit or piss tonight?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what we're
The same as every week, Pinky. Try
to take over the world.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think so, Brain, but where are we going to find that much potato salad?
Wow. No, I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. So
You haven't even sent the email yet.
no, I haven't. Have I? Shit, I better get on that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know if I'm going to participate that much. My buddy's supposed to be coming over tonight.
Hey, how'd your shooting go?
It was fun. The rain held off mostly, so that was nice.
Good. How much ammo did you bring back?
About half of it.
Aw.
I knew we weren't going to shoot all of it. It was one of those things, though. It's like I'm packing it up going, I need another couple hundred more rounds.
You guys want to see what I did over the weekend at that link?
And so I think we figured it out that I brought up, if you just, count all the calibers together, it's about a couple thousand rounds of everything.
It's not too bad.
So it was fun. We went for a long walk in the woods. That was pretty nice.
Well, the fact that you shot your 30-06 20 times is impressive enough.
Yeah, well, you know what? When I went out to just 50 yards with it, shot off like 5 rounds, and I wasn't very happy with it. I don't know. I didn't do very good. And I know I can shoot that well when I have it like on a table and shit, but I was just kind of like bracing off my knee, like as if I was hunting, sitting in a chair, like kind of bracing off whatever I can. And I wasn't real happy with my group, so I'm like, well, I better do this a little bit more. Because that's what I'm going to use for hunting. I want to make sure that I take good shots. I mean, they were all on paper, so at least I'd hit the deer no matter what, but I wouldn't necessarily hit him where I want to, so I needed more practice. But, yeah, my shoulder hurt after that a little bit.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. I'm a pansy.
No, I was going to say, all I was going to do is say, if you had some muscle on those shoulders, you'd be fine.
Yeah, I know. I need more tactical padding.
I certainly missed the 50 pounds that I lost, I'll tell you.
What was that?
I certainly missed that 50 pounds of fat I lost, at least what was on my shoulder.
As long as your pussy doesn't hurt, I don't think you need any more padding.
I think she hurts all the time.
Oh, if that was the case, you would think she would learn by now to get you a sandwich.
It's got
And there
nothing
it
to do
is.
with eating.
Hey, Flippy, just curious. How many times does your wife actually bring you a sandwich when you say that?
I don't ask my wife for sandwiches. My wife is a shit cook.
That answers that.
How do you fuck up making a sandwich? I gotta ask that question.
My woman would find a way.
Yeah, I don't think sandwich making is technically cooking.
It is. There's an art to it. Gotta toast the bread just the correct way. Pick the right ingredient. To have a
Who are
good
you?
mixture of.
You're a
I'm
fucking
someone who
picky
enjoys.
bitch.
I'm someone who enjoys fine food.
No, I think you're Jared.
Nah, I'm not into that little girl shit. I want a woman.
Damn, how many people does this hold?
10.
Oh.
I just thought you was a picky little bitch.
So, Smeggy, I think Pink wants to hear more about your long walk in the woods and your new boyfriend.
I take long walks in the woods most every day now that squirrel season's in. By myself.
What do you use for squirrel?
I use
Oh, God.
22.
I used a 22 almost my whole life, and then I moved down here. And one of my supervisors was like, "Bring a shotgun." So I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I went out there. So I brought my 22 and a 410, and I think it's kind of fun to go shoot them with 410. My son loves it too. He thinks it's fun.
I don't like to have to deal with the shot.
Yeah. He's 5, and it's much easier for him to hit a squirrel with a 410 than it is with a 22.
Well, if I take kids with me, they can take a shotgun. But personally, if I'm hunting by myself, I'd rather use a rifle because I don't want to deal with shooting shot.
I can't wait till the 410 Scorpion comes out. I'm getting that one.
It's going to be a Scorpio revolver.
I guess if I really wanted to, I could take double-out buck out in the 12 gauge and easy to get the shot out.
It'd be easy to skin him too.
Asking the squirrel ain't hard.
So is it true that you can scramble eggs and squirrel brains and make a feast?
I have no idea.
Yeah, if you want rabies.
Squirrel's brain smaller than a fucking peanut, man. Like, I don't know what you're gonna get out of that.
Maybe shoot
Yeah.
1,000,000 of them.
But evidently, the cocksuckers are smarter than I am.
Just saying, trying to mix a squirrel brain with eggs, like, dude, like a squirrel's brain's so teeny tiny, it's like the size of a pea. Like, I don't know what you'd get out of that.
That must be an old wives' tale told to city slickers.
You can pretty much do anything with squirrel you can do with chicken.
and same with rabbits.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my favorite thing to hunt is rabbit because they're good eating. They're, you get a lot more meat off of them, and they're easy to hunt.
Yeah, I like
You can
said,
hunt rabbit
you
pretty
can
well.
just sit on the edge of a field and hunt rabbit. It's pretty easy.
You can
If
start
there's
I
rabbits
get-
around.
at 22.
How I get the most rabbits is by driving through fields. It's called a bunny chase. Pluck them out. And yeah, like that's the easiest way that I've found to spot them and all that shit. Like, I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of field you're hunting them in and what it looks like. And but like where we hunt rabbit and all that, there's way too tall a brush to like even see them or anything. You'll never see them. You got to flush them out.
Uh-huh.
If it's snowy and the rabbits are hiding in clumps of weeds in the snow, it's pretty easy to spot a rabbit's eye.
So does anyone have a good recipe for jackrabbit stew?
No.
Yeah, vegetable soup, right? You get vegetable soup, and that's it. Like, and then you can add a little bit of different seasonings if you want, like salt, pepper, whatever, season, taste. But yeah, just like vegetable stew, and then throw your rabbit in.
Slow cook it for a day?
Yep, in the crock pot, or you can just, or if you're like out at the camp, you can just throw it like in the campfire and boil it real quick. And it doesn't taste as good that way as in the crock pot, but it just kind of depends on where you're at. But you can easily just boil it in 20 minutes, 25 minutes on a campfire.
Well, that's a good tip because that vegetable soup is easy to come by and has a lot
and
of.
it's easy to carry with you, and especially if you're going camping, you don't want to be carrying all these fresh vegetables and shit, taking up your cooler space. And no, it's so much easier just to grab a couple cans of vegetable stew, and then you throw. And if you don't get a rabbit, you get a squirrel instead. You can throw a squirrel in it. You can throw anything in it.
To make it lighter, you can use dehydrated soup too.
Oh, what, like pocket soup?
Yeah, like bags of dry soup mix. They're a shitload easier to carry.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that's true. You could use some of that powdered soup shit, but I just always buy the cans. I just go buy Campbell's chunky vegetable soup or whatever, vegetarian soup, something like that, and then then just whatever I get is what goes in the stew.
The longer you cook it, the better it is. I'll tell you that.
Well, I bet. But the reason I ask is because in the areas that I've been looking, you don't need a permit to hunt jackrabbit.
Oh, here you need a permit to hunt. It's just a small game, or it's not necessarily a permit, but they have to be in season. It's just a small game.
Well, you might want to ask somebody that's more well versed than I am about jackrabbits themselves. I've not really heard about anybody eating them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the western jackrabbit, and as far as I know, you don't need a license, at least in Nevada.
But then again, on private property here, you can pretty much do what you want. So
If you've never cleaned a rabbit, bring some Vicks. put some Vicks under your nose before you cut that fucker open.
They stink that bad?
That's a good tip. I think any animal, if you cut it open, is going to have an unpleasant odor.
Well, squirrel doesn't. I just did one the other day, and it's the first time I'd cleaned squirrel in a long time. And I thought I'd have trouble, but there wasn't any real odor to it at all. But I know rabbit and deer both are bad, and they're about the same smell. Only deer's just a lot more of it.
Yeah, I was cleaning a hog last year, and I went a little too deep when I was cleaning him, and that fucking stunk.
And I also think it depends on if their intestines were screwed up when you shot them, or if you accidentally cut them.
I think I actually
which
nicked
is another
him
reason
by accident.
why I don't hunt with shotgun when I don't have to.
Yeah, I shot a hog once, and I had a guide that did most of the dressing, but I was right there with him. And just the whole thing of just skinning a carcass, like there's definitely an odor that goes along with that. Just ripping all the guts out of what was just once a living animal. Like there's definitely an odor with that. It wasn't terrible. But yeah, this is an animal that was feeding off of other dead pigs and acorns, and it just has a smell to it. I imagine if you work in a slaughterhouse, it's a smell you're familiar with.
I read that Vicks thing in a magazine. Oh crap. One of the Field and Stream, I think, 30 years ago.
I probably read that same issue of Field and Stream 30 years ago when I was a kid. I used to read that magazine all the time. But now, Vicks, when we say Vicks, are we talking about some kind of like balm that comes out of a tube, or what is this?
It's Vicks Paper Rub.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
That's just a chest balm for when you have a cold or something. It's a real strong menthol smell.
It's like Ben Gay, but for colds instead of muscle aches.
Kind of, yeah. It's got more consistency of Vaseline.
Yeah, I've got to say I've never had any of that on hand. So next time I go to the pharmacy, I'm going to have to try and pick some up just for such an occasion.
Yeah, it lasts forever, so a little couple-ounce bottle will last you for years and years. And you might even be able to get it in smaller tubes, I don't know.
I wonder if that has like the same ability. You could use it like petroleum jelly, like you do with cotton balls for fire.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
You know what I've been doing lately to start a fire is just taking a Q-tip. I have a whole package of them in my gun cleaning kit. And then just taking the lip balm I have on hand and just rubbing one of the heads of the Q-tip on the head of the lip balm, just getting it nice and coated, and lighting that up, and it's like a little candle. Just throw it under your kindling, and once that kindling sets up, if you've built your fire correctly, you're good to go. Simple, easy.
I just carry a Zippo.
Well, yeah, I use a Bic lighter to light the Q-tip, but the Q-tip is like just long enough so you can get it under the kindling. And what I use for kindling is just shaved wood. I take my axe and just shave off the corner of the wood into these curled strips, and those things go up like nobody's business.
Honestly, I've been trying to start a fire out in the woods in, God, 20 years. No, that's not true. It's probably been 10 years.
I do a pretty big primitive camping trip about once or twice a year, so I do it pretty often. I usually take like a week of leave or something like that and just go out. I'll get like a permit from the national forest, and you just kind of got to let them know like where you're gonna be, like a general area, and then you just go do what you need to do.
Back when they used to do living history displays, we'd go out and practice camping and trying to work out the skills of the living history stuff. And after doing that for a few years, I don't have so much interest in primitive camping, but it's nice to know that you can survive.
Yeah. I did a lot of camping when I was a kid, but what really got me into like the primitive stuff is when I went through SEER up at Fairchild Air Force Base for the military, which is just like a survival school. Like they teach you how to survive and evade capture and things like that. That kind of got me interested in doing like the more primitive stuff where you just kind of go out with a backpack, and it was more fun for me.
I used to enjoy it, but the place where I normally go doesn't have any water on site, so you have to carry all your water, and that gets really tedious.
Yeah, especially like if you need to like wash up after eating or something like that. You gotta carry extra water for all that crap, and it gets heavy too.
Yes, it does. And you have to walk, several miles to get it.
Ugh.
But it was still an entertaining thing to do and very educational.
My son loves it. He was always wanting to go out. I haven't had a whole lot of time lately, but maybe when I get back, we'll go out. Usually, I like to go in the winter here, just because, like when I was up in Minnesota, I would go. You could go pretty much year round, but here in the winter, like when it starts getting cold out, that's the best time to go. Otherwise, you just end up getting eaten up by mosquitoes the whole time. It's not as fun.
Yeah, it would be bad here right now till we get a good solid freeze.
Yeah. Well, we got that hurricane coming, so I imagine the mosquitoes aren't too bad right now.
I've done several winter camps doing that, and it's not too bad to do when it's above 25 degrees or so outside, but it starts getting much colder than that. It's hard to stay warm when you're dressed in primitive clothes. I don't know how people lived.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, like, as far as camping goes, it's much easier to find a way to get warm than it is to find a way to cool off.
Well, yeah, you have a point there, especially in a place that doesn't have water you can get in.
Yeah.
It's interesting talking about different parts of the country where you're at in the South. That seems to be more of a concern where I am in the West. Winter comes early. I was just camping up at 5,000 feet in elevation, which really isn't that high. And it was 25 degrees last night. And I had a 0-degree bag in the back of my truck, and it was cozy. But 2 nights earlier, I was trying to use a 10-degree bag, and it was at like 7,000 feet in elevation. And man, I got cold. I couldn't sleep. When it's so cold that your clothes or your equipment isn't enough to keep you warm, you can't sleep. And if you can't sleep, you're not going to be able to regain your energy. And that's a problem. That's like the basis of hypothermia.
Yeah. Were you
So,
sleeping on the ground in a tent?
No, I was in my truck
Oh,
at a
okay.
camper shell, and I was in the middle of nowhere, man. It was like, you don't go there unless you have enough to keep you warm over the night. But luckily, I have this emergency blanket that I just bought, and like at midnight or whenever it was in the middle of the night, that I finally just decided I wasn't going to lie awake anymore because it was too cold. I figured out, hey, just grab this new emergency blanket, throw it over you, and that'll solve all your problems. And it did. It was beautiful. My body temperature went up 5 or 10 degrees. I was comfortable enough to sleep. There was a condensation issue on the inside of this very thin reflective blanket, but I was using a synthetic sleeping bag, so it still performed even though it was a little wet, and I was able to survive the night.
It's crazy. Those emergency blankets don't feel like shit, but when you actually get one on you, it's a notable difference.
I'll tell you, with the type of camping I'm doing, it's called trekking, basically. And there's no sleeping bags. You're carrying a blanket and usually a piece of oiled canvas to lay on and fold over you to keep you from getting rained out. And whatever clothes you got on your back, which is usually not a lot. And it is a tough son of a bitch to survive when it's cold. I don't know how people did it.
I imagine you kind of become acclimated to it if that's the kind of environment you grew up in.
I mean, granted, you see a lot of depictions of them in bear skin and buffalo skin, and that would be probably good, but I didn't have none of that shit. I had a wool waistcoat, and then I had a wool greatcoat.
Well, the good thing about wool is it doesn't lose any of its insulating properties when it gets wet. So, like, even though it may be wet or you may be wet, the wool will still keep you warm.
Wool can be heavy, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
One thing I've tried to stay away from is down for outdoor use because that does not work when it gets wet. Although last year I bought a jacket, my first down, quote unquote down jacket in a while, and it's a combo synthetic down blend, and it's actually really good. It's not as warm as pure down for the weight, but it has the performance of a synthetic. So, and it was on sale, of course, from Columbia.
It's ridiculous what some of those, like, if you get like those 90% down sleeping bags, they want like $500-600 for them damn thing.
Yeah, and they're light.
There's some good, high-quality synthetic material for insulation these days.
I've pretty much switched to, I refuse to sleep in a tent anymore, so I switched to the hammock camping, and I'll never go back. That is the most comfortable. I sleep better in a hammock than I do in my own bed. And they're small, too.
Do those have a rain fly?
The one I have does. The one I have is the ENO, Eagle Nest Outfitters, I think is what it's called. And it's got 3 separate, or you can get separate pieces for it. Like mine, I got just the hammock piece, and that it's got a rain fly, and then I also got the bug net because it does get really buggy down here. But I like the fact I have an older model, a different company, and everything's all together in one piece, bug net, rain fly, and all that. However, I don't like it because it's great for like easy setup, but I like being able to not have one of them, or if I want to move the rain fly up so I can, like, if it's not raining and I want to like look up, or if I want to use the hammock for like other purposes, like if I just want to set up and just go like hang out in the yard or whatever with it, then I can just put up the hammock. So that was definitely a better option.
I'm gonna give that hammock thing a try.
I feel like they're great in hot climates.
Yeah, I've noticed when it gets really cold outside, what I do is I just get a ton of pine